Hello everybody, today I would like to talk about version 2 of DarkSide LED lights. Some of you might already spotted those lights in frozen CPU web store, and so you might be asking yourself what's new in like why is version 2. So there's three incremental changes that we did to the lights, and I'd like to share with you so you have some better idea about what's happening. First of all, original series that we produced, first batch was two lengths, 5 and 7 inches. The reason why we did so short is not only because we wanted to make a product relatively inexpensive, because less LEDs is less cost to make them, but also because the LED was using is not some generic Chinese made LEDs. This is a Japanese company that's very well known to create tail lights and front running lights and turning lights for the cars. It's also some billboard on the highways that's really bright. You can see them in the daylight. So this is a very high quality electronic components to start with. So we figure out that emission of the light so high that you basically don't need more LEDs inside of your case. It's already will produce enough light power, so to speak, than you need. So the longer one make no sense. But Frozen CPU told us, you know guys, a lot of people are running big cases, they want a better distribution about along the bigger, longer lengths, so to speak, and if somebody has too much light, they can dim it with power fan controller basically, right, and adjust it to the level they want. So we did a 30 centimeters version, which is 12 inches in North American standard, and that's basically also was part of the version 2 release. Other things that we worked out is it came from community, from you guys. Some guys told us that they think that sleeving each power cable individually, how we did it in original series, you can see that plus and minus wire has individual sleeving, but people saying that, you know, it's a lot of clutter going on in the computer, your fans and your SATA cables, everything. So the less clutter you have is better. So just sleeve it in one single sleeve and it will work more interesting, and it will be much less hassle in terms of the power management inside of your case. So that's what basically we did. We put wires in a single high density sleeve, so now it's a little bit easier to tackle inside of the case. The last change that is happened with the version 2, it's a new type of a circuit board. Original version was standard composite type of the circuit board. As you can see, it's this type in like any GPU motherboard and things like this, and with version 2 we start using the new type that we just recently became aware of. It's aluminum layered metal type of circuit board, which is while it's even thinner than a composite one, it's more stronger, so it's harder to break, and can take a little bit more abuse. One of the things that we have to deal here is while we're trying to make a light which is as least intrusive comparing with let's say house type of the light. This is the same type of the light, but you see it's inside of the acrylic tubes that you use for CCFL lights. You can you know, handle it much more safer way, so to speak. But when you have a bare circuit board, especially when it became longer, you need give some respect to the product. You just can't yank it at your will, because essentially if you bend it too much, you can break a circuit board and some section of the light will go dim because you just interrupt power distribution. We did like some abuse in a house to show you what's happened if you break light basically too much. So you can see some section went dim, because when we start bending light as much as we could, at a certain point the circuit breaks and it makes light dim. You can bend it back and kind of restore it, but it's not really a workable solution. So I would like guys to ask you, when you use the lights, give some respect to them. They're not 100% indestructible, and if you glue them with adhesive tape and you'd like to reposition, cut tape carefully with a utility knife or something like this, not just yank the entire thing. This became more critical with the longer lights, because it's easier to use your power of your muscles and just you break it out. But you can see the light extremely bright, so which is cool. And if it's too much power, dim it with Fan controller. So that's what I do in my own build, because it's a little bit too much, even if with shorter version, and then it's create a really kind nice type of effect. Alright guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon with the new updates.